The unbreakable man, finding light in the quiet after the storm. There's a soft shadow that falls over a man's life when he's loved hard and lost harder. It's not the kind that blocks the sun all at once, making you stumble in the dark. No, it's the gradual kind, creeping in like evening dusk, where the colors fade slow and you don't notice till the night's full upon you. You sit there at the end of a long day, boots kicked off, beer in hand, staring at the wall where a picture used to hang, and wonder how it got this way. You remember the early days when her laugh filled the room like morning bird song, when her touch felt like home after a cold rain. You gave your all, your steady shoulder for her tears, your last dollar for her smile, your quiet nights for her stories. You thought that's what a good man does, builds a fire to keep the chill away. But sometimes the fire burns low and you find yourself adding wood alone, watching the flames dance for someone who's already looking at the door. This shadow, this quiet hurt, it's common as dirt roads in a small town. It visits the banker counting his coins, the farmer turning his soil, the mechanic under the hood. Smart men, strong men, men who know how to fix engines or balance books, but forget how to fix their own hearts when the pull turns to push. It starts innocent enough, that blindness. You hear the excuses and call them reasons. She's had a rough day, you say, when her words cut sharp. It's just stress when her phone buzzes late and her eyes dart away. You pour kindness like rain on dry ground, thinking it'll grow something green. But love ain't a garden if only one person's watering. It's a partnership, two hands in the dirt, or it's just you kneeling alone in the mud. We grow up with stories, knights and damsels, vows that last forever. But life don't follow scripts. Love is conditional, tied to the weather of the day, the respect in the room, the choices made when no one's watching. A woman's affection might bloom bright when the sun's high and you're her rock, but watch it wilt when clouds roll in or your step falters. It's not always malice, it's human wiring, chasing warmth and flinging cold. Men trip here thinking their sweat equity buys eternal sunshine. You work overtime for her dreams, skip your own rest to mend her fences, bend till your back aches. You call it devotion. She might call it useful. And when the taking outpaces the giving, the excuses pile up like leaves and fall. She's busy, you whisper. It's temporary. But that whisper turns to a roar in your chest, the truth knocking louder. You're trading your soul for scraps. Action, when twisted, becomes a sly trader's coin. She flips it out when she needs a yes, a favor, a blind eye. A hug after you say no to her whim, a kiss to smooth the rough edge you didn't carve. Your body responds, that old fire flickering, and you mistake it for spark, but it's strings attached, pulling you where she wants. In the quiet after, you're left lighter in the wallet, heavier in the heart, wondering why the warmth fades so fast. Love shouldn't be a marketplace where you're always bartering your peace. A good man deserves a fair exchange, not a one-sided deal that leaves him broke. The sweet lies slip in, smoother than whiskey on a cold night. You're so amazing, she says, and your shoulders square. Right before the ask lands, a favor wrapped in praise. It's ego bait hooking your pride to real in compliance. Or I love our talks, but the face-to-face never comes. Plans dissolving like sugar in rain. She's sipping your words for comfort without the mess of showing up. And the heavy hitter, I love you timed like a clock, after a slip up or before a need. It's not from the deep well, it's a bucket dipped shallow to buy time or silence. These words warm in the moment, but chill when the echo fades, leaving you questioning if any of it was real. A man learns to taste the sugar for what's beneath, to hear the unsaid in the said. Betrayal whispers before it shouts, in micro shifts that feel like nothing till they pile high. She's dressing for the world, outfits that call eyes, posts that beg for hearts. Not style, but a signboard saying, still open. Her circle fills with just friends, phones lighting up with names that linger. That's the hunger loop, feeding on applause to fill an empty spot. She ain't bad, she's thirsty, but your well alone won't quench it. The past trails like smoke, short loves that burn hot and gone. She's wired for the chase, the spark, not the slow glow. Ignore it, and you're tinder for the next blaze. Walls around her heart, body close but soul distant. Defense from old cuts, letting touch without trust. You give deep, she gives surface. Alone together, that's the ache. Digital shadows tell tales too. Texts turn to stone, cold notes instead of warm words. Dead hours where she's vanished, no ping, no trace. When pressed, details flood, the harmless bits drowning the questions. Choreography, keeping you spinning while she steps light. Names hidden under mom. Apps eating words like secrets. Cold play betting on your trust. Words before goodbye are velvet blades. Disconnected, pulling you to mend while she unravels. Time for myself, growth in disguise, space for shadows while you're shelved. Love you but not in love. Care sans fire, pity sans passion. Soft exits, guilt eased, weight yours. The unbreakable man doesn't wrestle the storm. He reads the wind and shifts sail. He turns inward, forging from within what wind can't bend. Purpose his anchor, calling deeper than any voice. Not centering her, but inviting her along. Keep the blade keen. Sweat, toil, vows, and mirrors gaze. Discipline the whisper, I leave me first. Presence the warm hearth, calm the root and swell. Emotional rain-wise choices, don't chase bait, let silence sing. Standards the garden fence, lived quiet. Violation plain stated, fact feel firm no. Hold true, clarity light through mist. Unbalance, step off, save. Strength, walking, reclaiming, strength in stride, peace over roar. No tie worth soul, right one matches step, adds light, stands firm. Till then, light your space, steady, beat in chest. Unbreakable, not stone, deep root. Bend with wind, stand through rain. To deepen this tale, consider a lesson from the ancients, like Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This isn't book learning, it's bone truth. When her patterns drain you, don't rage at the rain, build your roof. Forgive the boy you were, wide-eyed and giving. He taught the man you are. Forgive her too, for her storms are her own. Carrying them ain't your load. Forgiveness ain't forgetting. It's freeing your hands for better work. Another thread from the weave of real lives. Studies from psychologists like John Gottman show that contempt, those little digs, the eye rolls, is the number one predictor of divorce, poisoning the well faster than drought. It's not the big fights. It's the slow erosion of respect. And from evolutionary psychology, like David Buss's work, women often test boundaries to gauge a man's frame. His steady core fail the test by bending and the pull weakens. These aren't just ideas. They're maps from the field, drawn from thousands of broken homes and mended hearts. One clear lesson: set your frame once, live it daily. Don't argue standards, embody them. When she flirts for eyes, don't chase, observe and decide. When the phone hides, don't pry. State your need for light and see if she opens. Violation, don't storm, step calm. This lesson saves years. Don't pour into pits, build on solid ground. As feelings build from that soft shadow to the roar of seeing true, let the storm peak in your chest, the anger at wasted nights, the fear of empty mornings. Feel it full, then let it pass like clouds after rain. The thu comes next, the soft dawn after. Forgive yourself for believing the lies, for giving your best to less. Forgive her for her hungers, her walls. They're her path, not yours to walk. Forgiveness lightens the load, clears the road. You emerge unbreakable not by walls, but by wisdom. Seeing patterns, holding peace, choosing self. The porch waits, dusk's soft, your light steady. Sit there whole, and if she comes, she'll find a man worth staying for. If not, your garden grows green anyway. Unbreakable, free, at peace. The unbreakable man, rising steady from the quiet wreckage of broken promises and faded dreams. There's a gentle fog that rolls in on a man's life when he's loved with all he's got and woken up to nothing but echoes. It's not the crashing thunder of a sudden blow that knocks you flat. No, it's the slow mist that seeps in through the cracks, blurring the edges until you can't quite see where you end and the hurt begins. You sit there in the dim light of evening, maybe with a cup of black coffee going cold in your hands, staring out at the yard where the grass needs cutting and wonder how the days slipped away. You recall the early mornings when her voice was the first thing that made sense, when her hand in yours felt like the world clicking into place. You gave quiet and steady, your listening ear for her troubles, your strong back for her burdens, your simple faith that love was built on showing up day after day. You thought that's what it meant to be a good man, to stand like an oak in the wind, roots deep, branches wide enough to shelter. But sometimes the wind turns fierce, and you find yourself bending alone, leaves stripped bare, realizing the shelter was one-sided. This fog, this soft sorrow, it's as common as worn boots by the door in a working man's home. It touches the truck driver, mapping long hauls, the carpenter nailing frames, the teacher grading papers late. Capable men, reliable men, men who fix what's broken in the world around them, but overlook the fractures in their own hearts when the fog thickens. It creeps in easy at first, that haze of not seeing clear. You feel the tug of something off, but you brush it away like dust on your sleeve. She's just had a tough week, you mutter when her laugh goes missing. It's nothing when her eyes wander to the phone more than to you. You pour out understanding like cool water on a hot day, thinking it'll soothe and bring things back to even. But love ain't a scale you can balance with goodwill alone. The shared fire, tended by both. Or it's just you blowing on coals that won't catch. We learn from old stories. Fathers and grandfathers who stuck it out through hard times, but the world spun faster now, and love's got conditions woven in, like threads in a well-worn shirt. A woman's warmth might glow steady when the path's smooth and you're her anchor, but watch it flicker when rocks appear or your step slows. It's not always meant to wound. It's the way folks chase light in a dim room, reaching for what's easy over what's true. Men stumble here, figuring their sweat and silence by forever. You clock extra hours to light up her eyes, skip your fishing trip to mend her fence, carry your weight till your shoulders sag. You name it devotion, she might name it handy. And when the giving outruns the getting, the fog thickens with whispers. She's overwhelmed, you tell the mirror. It'll pass. But that whisper grows to a hum in your ears, the truth stirring soft. You're trading pieces of yourself for a promise that's thinning like smoke. Affection, when bent wrong, turns to a traitor's quiet bargain. She offers it up when it suits. A warm word after you yield, a touch to ease the edge you didn't sharpen. Your heart quickens, that old spark flickering, and you take it for real flame. But it's leverage, gentle and sly, using your own longings to steer you. Come morning, you're lighter somehow, heavier too, questioning why the glow fades so quick. Love shouldn't be a swap meet where you're forever shortchanged. A good man earns a fair share, not echoes dressed as full songs. The sweet deceptions glide in smoother than a river stone. You're so strong, she murmurs, and your back straightens, just as the request lands, a need tucked in praise. It's pride's snare, catching your ego to sway your choice, or I cherish our talks, yet the meetings dissolve, plans melting away. She's drawing comfort from your voice without the effort of standing face to face. And the weighty one, I love you, slipped in soft after a misstep or before a want. It's not dug from deep earth, it's surface gleam to hush doubts or gain ground. These phrases warm brief, but leave cold trails when deeds don't follow. A man hones his ear to catch the hollow ring beneath the sweet. Disloyalty doesn't thunder in, it whispers first. In tiny turns, you dismiss till they towel. She's outfitting for the crowd, clothes that call, glances, shares that invite hearts. Not mere fashion. It's a quiet call saying, doors ajar. Her gatherings swell with pals who hover long, devices glowing with names that stick. That's the craving cycle, sipping praise to quench a thirst. She ain't wicked, she's parched. But your spring alone can't slake it. The history lingers like autumn leaves, brief blazes that spark and sputter. She's hooked on the surge, the fresh thrill, not the even burn. Overlook it and you're kindling for the coming fire. Barriers around her core form near but essence distant, safeguard from prior stings, permitting contact without communion. You offer fully, she offers facade. Solitary together, that's the tender wound. Digital echoes narrate too. Messages chill to bare notes, frosty as frost on glass. Blank spells where she's vanished, no buzz, no trace. Probed, facts cascade, the innocent floods bearing queries. It's a waltz to keep you whirling while she glides unhindered. Labels veiled under kin, tools devouring dialogues like secrets. Chill strategy, wagering on your fate. Phrases preceding farewell are gentle edges, disconnected, drawing you to repair as she unweaves. Self-time, bloom masked, gap for shades while you're archived. Love you yet not in love. Tenderness sans blaze, compassion sans heat. Mild departures, remorse softened, burden yours. The unbreakable man doesn't battle the gale. He reads its breath and adjusts course. He pivots within, crafting from core what gale can't shatter. Purpose his lodestar, summons beyond any soul, not centering her, but bidding her join the trek. Hone the edge, perspiration, labor, oaths in reflection's gaze, discipline the murmur. I guide me foremost. Presence, the cozy blaze. Serenity, the root amid surge. Emotional governance-wise selections. Don't pursue every lure. Let quietness chime. Standards, the plot's boundary. Existence, mute. Breach, plain-voiced. Truth, sensation, resolute, nay. Class, genuine. Clarity, gleam through haze. Imbalance, depart, preserve vigor, strolling reclaim, fortitude in pace, tranquility over din. No link merits spirit, apt one aligns stride, augments glow, endures solid. Till she arise, safeguard your expanse, constant rhythm in breast, unbreakable, not rigid husk, profound root, yield with gust, endure via deluge. To enrich this narrative, ponder a wisdom from Epictetus, the Stoic sage. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This isn't mere philosophy, it's lived armor. When her cycles deplete you, don't fury at the downpour, erect your cover. Pardon the youth you were, eager and yielding. He schooled the adult you embody. Pardon her likewise, for her tempests are hers. Bearing them isn't your freight. Pardon releases, purifies the trail. You surface unbreakable not by barricades, but by insight. Discerning designs, clasping tranquility, selecting self. The veranda awaits, twilight tender, your radiance firm. Perch there complete, and if she emerges, she'll discover a man meriting permanence. If not, your plot flourishes verdant anyhow, unbreakable, liberated, serene. Another strand from life's tapestry, research by psychologists like Esther Perel in her book Mating in Captivity, reveals that mystery and independence fuel lasting desire. But when one partner uses autonomy as a veil for secrecy, it erodes trust like water on stone. It's not the independence, it's the hidden motives that hollow the bond. And from attachment theory, as explored by Amir Levine in Attached, avoidant patterns, those emotional walls, stem from past fears, making closeness feel like threat. These aren't abstract notions, they're blueprints from countless lives, mapping why some loves endure and others crumble. And vivid lesson, embrace the frame of observation. Don't react, watch. Violation sparks, not outburst, but quiet note. This doesn't align. This lesson spares seasons. Don't invest in voids. Construct on firm soil. As sentiments stir from that mild haze to the hum of awakening, let the surge build the indignation at squandered evenings, the dread of vacant dawns. Sense it wholly, then permit it to drift like foliage in breeze. Absolution ensues, the tender morn post-rain. Absolve thyself for crediting the deceptions, for bestowing finest to lesser. Absolve her for her cravings, her barriers. They're her voyage, not thine to traverse. Absolution lightens the burden, clears the path. You arise unbreakable, not by fortifications, but by sagacity. Perceiving motifs, embracing serenity, electing self. The veranda beckons, gloaming mild, thy luminescence constant. Repose there, integral. And if she materializes, she'll encounter a man deserving perpetuity. If not, thy garden thrives lush regardless, unbreakable, emancipated, at repose. Yet the journey deepens with tales from the trenches. Consider the wisdom of Viktor Frankl in Man's Search for Meaning. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. This isn't distant lore, it's the key to reclaiming your days. When her sweet lies tempt, pause in that space. Don't chase the echo, choose your silence. Forgive the moments you faltered, for they forged your resolve. Forgive the world its chaos, for it taught you order.